welcome. So I'm back. Just came back from the offline regional, sorry, in Mülheim, 1,000 people player event, and I am here right now showing you my deck list, talking a little bit about my experience, and yeah, just showing you what I went with and how it went. So first things first, big shout out to Alexander, who played Kid in the first and the second day, and Edgar, who played the Boatbeard in the top 32. These dudes were hilarious, like super cool dudes, super fun, super nice atmosphere around them, like very light people, like always laughing, always making jokes. Like I really enjoyed that. It was such a good time, and greatly increased my fun whatever spectrum meter. It was just insane. Also, there was one guy who was like, "Dude, I love crocodile, and I have this crocodile deck. Do you want to watch it with me? Like, can you talk to me about it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I will do that. I will just play this game, this final, and we will we will do that." And then I didn't see him again, so I was feeling kind of sad and kind of bad about that. So if you're watching this video and you still want me to talk about it with you, like you can just hit me up on Discord. Is Pumaflosse number sign 3203. So whoever wants to talk on Discord with me, just add me up, and we can talk about things, whatever, and especially you. Um, I will still do that with you, obviously. So it was no ill intention to dodge you or something like that. So first off, like people there were crazy, crazy good, and like crazy nice. Like I've never been to a convention or an event or whatever where people have been so insanely nice. Even like I slaughtered some people and they were like so nice, so happy. They were like, "Oh man, you're playing Sakazuki. That's so cool." I'm really what is it? I'm crossing my fingers for you. Like just go and you will do fine. And it was really nice. Of course, there's also a small little percentage of people are just salty and nasty and kind of feels bad to meet them. Um, it just happened to be a lot of Zoro players actually that were like this, where I felt like if the dude's playing Zoro, he's kind of not nice. I know you can't take that to all because two Zoro players yesterday were really nice and they completely ran me over and were like just so nice people. So it's cool, but yeah, generally speaking, I just don't like red, and red apparently just don't like me. It doesn't like me. So here I go. I went 5-5 yesterday. So that's really poor, right? Really poor. Thing is, I was 5-2 at one point, but the Zoro people were just holding me down. I was really confident actually going in there that Sakazuki has no real super bad matchup. Like Zoro is the hardest by far, but I was pretty confident that I could, like, if I face three, I can win one, or maybe even two if I'm lucky. Turns out that I face five and I lose all of them because the matchup is way worse than I expected. And if I'm not drawing any of my 16 triggers, well, actually it's 12 triggers that can destroy something on the board, I'm just falling behind because I need to clear their board at some point. And if I don't do that, I just don't have enough counters to just you know the matchup, right? Black has a really tough matchup against Zoro anyways, but apparently I made it a little worse instead of making it better. So yeah, the first day, let me just recap. My first matchup was against a Doflamingo, and I beat that. The second matchup was against an Ivankov. I beat that as well. I think blue is absolutely advantageous for black or Sakazuki specifically. I don't know if it's for Zoro for Smoker as well, but for Sakazuki, blue is really good matchup. Um, then the third one was, what was my third matchup? It was a Strawbeard. I think, I mean, I made this deck trying to beat Whitebeard, so obviously the Whitebeard matchup is pretty favored. I beat him, and sadly that was the only Whitebeard on the first day, which is really insane because I was preparing for Whitebeard insanely. Like it was just I need to beat Whitebeard, and I created this deck, and I play only a single one. So yeah. Then we had the fourth match, which was my first loss against Zoro, and then the fifth match, which I think was Zoro as well. So I'm 3-2, and I win two more games against Law and Luffy. So I'm 5-2. The Luffy matchup is just like Zoro, but not as oppressive. So winning Luffy matchup is easier because he doesn't go as wide. He just plays the Rush Ruffy and the Rush Zoro, the Rush Ruffy. I mean that hurts, and it's really hard to play against that. But you can always remove the one thing with playing something, and then you just build board and you just kill him before he kills you. Like that's a possibility. Um, I drew pretty well in that matchup as well, so that's that. And then the Law matchup is just pretty favored in Sakazuki as well because he while he does go wide, as long as you can interrupt his board building early, you win. And I play like four shockwaves, and four. I will show you the deck list soon, but like I have 8 events that remove stuff early from the board, especially one drops, so he never gets to build his board. If everything works out well. And it did in that game. So I beat that Law, I beat that Luffy. I'm 5-2, and I'm like still having the hopes like, okay, I can do it. Just give me Whitebeard 3 times in a row and I will hit top cut. I will make it. And I get 3 more Zoros. Like I was devastated. And it was while some matches were really close, I lost one to I played Hina. He had 2 cards in hand or 1 card, I don't even know anymore. And he plays Dan, draws Nami, and with Nami draws Jet Pistol, and with Jet Pistol he had Jet Pistols the Hina, and he just beats me. I'm like, that's the game, right? I mean, it happens, it sucks, but what's even worse is that I actually didn't beat a single Zoro. Like, I anticipated playing against him, but I was really, really confident that I could at least beat one. But yeah, didn't happen. So first day 5-5. I was a little down after that, but people were so nice, especially hanging around Edgar, and like all the people that like the Strawbeard player that I met was also very, very, very cool. The Luffy player that I played was so cool, and like whenever you see these people walking around, they're like, "How you doing? Are you still winning?" And I was like, "Nah, not anymore, but it's cool." And we like just talk a bit and then keep going. Like it was really, really fun, really cool. And then the second day, I got into a chopper event where I could basically just win a chopper alt art. I was totally down and was like, Sakazuki is a bad deck, it's a shitty deck, and I don't want to play this shit anymore. But I didn't have any other cards with me, so I had to play it. Because I was so confident going in there that I would make top cut, or I could make top cut, or at least play good, that I only brought it. And it turns out it was a good decision that I brought it because in this chopper event we were like 60 or 70 people, I don't even know, and um, we were playing 6 games, and I've only lost the last one, and it was against a Law, the Matteo. Probably I don't know if you know him or not, but he won the Treasure Cup last time by Raid and Trade with Raid and Trade. So yeah, basically a former champion. So that I'm losing against him, only him. I think I like that. That was fine, right? That was cool. And I did beat on that day a Smoker and a Kid and a Ivankov and the Boatbeard and what else? So there has to be one more, but I can't remember it right now. But yeah, it was a very, very non-red focused bracket that we had, and the deck just works so well and so consistent against every single deck except for Zoro. So yeah, it's really just a little bit the luck of the draw, right? I mean, building a deck that's just good against everything is hard enough. Um, You have some bad matchups, you have some good matchups, and on the first day I was just a little bit unfortunate with the matchups. Um, and other than that, I will show you the deck list right now because I think Sakazuki has the potential to be like so freaking good. Like this is the mat um, that I was using, the Sakazuki one. Let's put that away. All right. So what are we playing? Sakazuki. Why do we play Sakazuki? The thing is, his leader ability, I mean, in Zoro matchups, you actually don't have one. You're playing a vanilla leader. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're losing that matchup so hard. Because you can't remove anything. Like, it's just absolutely oppressive. Absolutely oppressive. So, for 3 Dawn, he's a 5,000, 5 life leader. And for 3 Dawn, active once per turn, main phase, you can rest 3 Dawn and drop a card, very expensive, to kill a 0 drop. Okay? 0. Not 1, 0. So, what am I playing in this deck? There's my Golden Dawn. Oh yeah, in the Chopper event I went second actually, which means I got 10 event packs number 1, which is really good. So yeah. So I'm playing 2 times Hina, just a 5 cost blocker, and basically the only blocker that I'm playing except for Bozzolino. Like these are my 8 blockers. Bozzolino just sticks on the board forever. Like you decide when he dies, right? Not the opponent. So that card is obviously really good. And Hina, just because I've noticed that I need some more blockers, but taking 2 cost blockers is useless because they just get Vista'd and whatever. And yeah, Hina is just had helped me out a lot, especially in matchups that are not red, that cannot jet pistol her, because a 5-drop is very difficult to remove. And if she can block 2 attacks in a turn, like that's tremendous, right? Then obviously, like, we have 4 times the Kuzan. It's just a key card in the deck. We need it 4 times. We need to play it on curve if we can. Lets me draw a card and enables my leader ability basically for the rest of the game. And also in conjunction with the 10-drop, if you have this one on board in turn 8, you play it on 8, you draw a card. Now your opponent cannot play Whitebeard. Now your opponent cannot play Ace, except for like Ace and Shockwave. Like he needs to remove it. Okay, if he cannot remove it, he cannot play these big guys because the big guys next turn you attack for 5, you minus 4 cost, and you play Kuzan and you remove that big guy that you played. So playing this against red on 8. They will still play the Whitebeard and they will lose it. They will pay for it. And then they will never play the Whitebeard again. Unless they have 3 or more. But then the game's over. Once this Kuzan sticks on the board, you're basically like Zephyr. Because every 5-drop is a 0-drop. And now you can just pay 3 Dawn every turn to remove that 5-drop. If this one's on the board, 9 drops, no problem. As well. Then we got 2k counters. We got 4 times her, removes cost by 2, can be used sometimes in conjunction with him or him to remove 7 drops or 6 drops or whatever. Then we have Tashigi, 4 times, just another 2k counter. I think I have 2, yeah, Sengoku as well. So that's 10. We're playing 10 2k counters in this one. Now we're playing 4 Shockwaves. It's just too important because it is... yeah, like you don't have to take a life for 1 turn because it's plus 4,000. So you can block an attack and you can kill something on the board that's active with 3 or less. Just very good against Zoro and Law and basically everything that tries to build board, which is basically everything. Then we have 3 times the Great Eruption. Great Eruption is a very, 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 very good card. This card allows you for 1 Dawn to draw a card, which means it doesn't cost you a card in your hand. And then you get to -2. -2 is important because, yet again, for example, in conjunction with Sakazuki, who can remove a 5-drop, suddenly you can remove a 7-drop, which is basically Ace. Or if you have 2 of those, you could even remove a Whitebeard with this guy for 8 cost. So these card enables you to just put the 1 or 2 cost units that are over 5 back into place, right? So that's very, very good. Sakazuki, just great removal for everything. Basically, if you can play him on turn to remove something big, you just do it. You just do it every single time. 4 times Kobe, very good in the early game to remove Zoros or important searchers or whatever. And then after you play Kuzan, this thing just removes everything from 8 down, right? Every 8 drop down is gone. Then we have 3 times Garb. Garb, in conjunction with Hina, and Kobe is like what you try to play around a little bit if you're going first, because you want one of those or one of those in your hand to play on 5. Like if you play Garb on 5 and you remove their 3-drop or 4-drop, that's just like insane. It's really good. And then you have a 6k blocker on board because they need to remove that and they want to remove that, so they are going to attack this. And you can decide, do I let it go or do I just drop in a 2k counter or maybe even 2, depending on how you want to play the game out. Like against Zoro, it's very, very important to keep the board as soon as possible. And against other matchups, I favor just giving up the cards. Doesn't matter. I just play another one that removes something and keep my hand cards to myself because they're so valuable. Then we got the hidden sauce from the deck is Ice Age. Ice Age is basically, if I do not have the Kuzan, if I do not have this Kuzan, and I'm like, damn, he's playing a big guy, I can play Ice Age, right? Ice Age, Sakazuki removes everything. Even the mirror match that is typically won by whoever plays the first Kuzan is suddenly not won by the one who plays the first Kuzan. Because he plays Kuzan, I just Ice Age Sakazuki that one away. Like I lost the dice, it doesn't matter. I'm on 10 Don, I'm on 9 Don, he's on 10 Don. He plays it, I'm on 10 Don, I play this. It doesn't matter. He's gone. And then next turn I play my Kuzan. And then when my Kuzan stands, he can never play his. Because he doesn't run this tech. Right? Like, almost no one plays Ice Age. But in conjunction with Sakazuki's leader ability, like this is a 4 Dawn, remove a 5 drop. Okay? So it's not the best in the world, but it is something that can work. And if you have him on board, that's even an attack and a 4 Dawn, remove a 9 drop. Right? So that's really good. Very, very good, actually. Also, it has a trigger that you can... I don't know if you can probably not see it, but you can believe me in that. The trigger is KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Which means I'm playing 4 and 8 events that on trigger allow me to clear something off the board. That's very, very good. And 8 is a pretty good number. And now we put in 4 more Meteor Volcanoes, which also remove 1 drops. And on trigger let me draw a card, 2 cards and discard 1. Which means suddenly I have 12 triggers that are very, very, very good if I have them in my life. And 12 is a lot. Like, it's not entirely 30%, but I think all my event cards together, 15, is around about 30%. So the chance of hitting those in my life is actually very high. Like, it's really actually not bad. The only bad thing is that you're basically dependent on dropping one of those 2 in your life in order to survive Zoro. Like, if he 3 drops a Zoro, rushes into your life, and you have this, and can instantly remove him with the first life, and you still have 4 left, that's so insane. Like, that game is basically almost won. Yeah, so this is the deck list. How you play it is basically you always try to go second, except for red matchups. In the red matchups, you try to go first, simply because you need to go in. You need to aggress him, because if you don't do that, you will just lose. He will just starve you because you cannot keep clearing the small guys because he just refills and he just goes with wide attacks. And since I'm only having basically 10 and 14, 16 cards that can counter at all, except for the Borzas, maybe like at 20. It's 20 cards, but I don't want to use the Borzas to counter. I want to use them to block, right? So it's 20 cards that I can counter, and like the 4 events maybe. So we're on 24, half the deck. Half the deck has counter or can help me out to survive, and half of the deck is basically break, which I wouldn't exactly call break because while they cannot counter directly, if you play one of those that removes something off the board, like those, that's a card that you that's one attack less that you need to counter next turn, right? So in some ways, it still works as a counter. And Sakazuki just has a very, very good matchup against every deck that does not rush you, right? If the character does not have rush, like for example Whitebeard or Boatbeard, like they play their big guy, 5-drop, King Dew. You Ice Age, or if you have the 4-drop, you just attack, -1, Meteor Volcano, dude's gone. Or you just Sakazuki, dude's gone. And you're never losing life. You're never losing anything. You're just constantly removing his stuff, and all he can do is one attack phase, maybe 2 attack phase if he builds more minions, right? And that's it. And he's way too slow to beat you ever. So the matchups are really, really good for Sakazuki. All except for Zoro. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. I don't know how consistently I'll make videos for the next month because the set 2 is basically over. I have one more tournament on the 27th, which is 12 days. Online regional. I will not play Sakazuki there because I mean technically I could. I could play Sakazuki and hope that I do not get as many Zoros. Maybe I could fine-tune it a little bit, but I actually just want to try Magellan. I want to know how it goes. I have now seen today that Sakazuki is just so freaking good. This deck is heavily underrated. Everything that Smoker can do, Sakazuki can do. Except for like Smoker is a little more aggressive, right? He prevents you playing 1-drops, which isn't really a thing because like most just play their 1-drops and then you have like a 1k plus every turn. Okay, I get that, but Sakazuki is just against the big beaters. He's even more control heavy than Smoker, and I just love that. Absolutely love that. So yeah, if you have the time, if you think it's interesting, hit him up, give him a chance, and maybe you can fine-tune the deck even more than I did, and let me know what decisions where I went the wrong way, what I could have done better. Maybe there is something that I have miscalculated other than just the Zoro matchup that I didn't account for in this deck video. If that's the case, just let me know. And yeah, I will tell you how my next online regional went. And thanks for watching. It's a really cool. It was a cool time seeing some of you recognize me. Like some people were like, "You're the dude from the crocodile video, right?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And it felt really good. And also talking to you is like just insane. Funnily enough, like the non-native speakers, like non-German people, were the ones that recognized me, which is mostly probably because I'm doing these videos in English. But like that was really fun because like I don't think there was a German dude coming to me and saying like, "Hey, du bist doch der aus von den YouTube-Videos," but it was always like, "Hey, you're the dude, right? The crocodile player." I was like, "Yes." So yeah, thanks for doing that. You people made my day. And even though I was only 5-5, I think this deck has tremendous potential. So thank you for everything. See you in the next video.